What's up, guys? This is an OU battle I had against Colonel Sanders. He's from Team Aqua on Facebook, and he and Sarah, also from Team Aqua, also have a channel. I will leave a link to that in the description. Um, he said that he was basically just going to use a test team. So I don't really have any new Pokemon to test, but I decided to mix it up a little bit. I normally use Umbreon and Jolteon. Sometimes I use Zapdos, and I like using Torkoal, but it was just mixed up a little bit, with Metagross being in there, and Weavile, and no Milotic. So, anyway, let's get this started. One of the reasons, actually, I brought Weavile was because I know he has his own Weavile set, and it would just kind of mess with him. So I lead with Weavile, and he leads with Blastoise. And I know Blastoise is normally defensive instead of specially defensive or mixed. So I just switch right out because I probably can't one-hit KO with any of my moves. And I go to Umbreon to take a Scald or whatever. And he reveals Counter, which I shouldn't have been surprised because he runs the most unique sets ever. And then so I get a Wish as he switches out to Escavalier. Is that how you say it? And I go to Torkoal now because it'll threaten him out. I can Yawn, get up Stealth Rock. And so he goes for the Mega Horn, which I resist. Still actually did quite a bit of damage. I'm pretty surprised. So, I get my Wish off, and actually it just now occurred to me that he might be banded. I don't know. That thought never occurred to me during this whole battle. So he goes to Gliscor as I Yawn, and most of them are Toxic Orb, and I'm like, ah, crap. But then I realize he's not Toxic Orb, but I do still think he might be Poison Heal, but I don't have any Toxic users, so I don't really have to worry about that. So I go for a Stealth Rock, and he switches out to Blastoise. So I go to Zapdos, threaten him out with Thunderbolt possibly, and he goes for a Scald, and he gets the burn right away. It was a bit unfortunate, but I was like, you know what, I can live with this for a little bit. Not too much to worry about. Predicting he's going to go to Jolteon to take the Thunderbolt. Which wouldn't actually be all that bad because then I could just switch out to Umbreon. But for some reason I was really fearing it. So instead I go for a Hidden Power, and he Mirror Coats. So it was a good thing that I guess I was afraid for no reason because it saved me. So I know he's got Scald, Mirror Coat, Counter. Rapid Spin is probably his last one. So this turn I'm going to Roost because I'm near and low damage, and I don't know if his Scald could honestly finish me off from there. I don't know how much special attack he's running. And he just goes for another Mirror Coat. And honestly, I could sub and Thunderbolt, but for some reason, just that idea didn't occur to me to the whole battle. Like, this whole first half of the battle was extremely slow. I just wasn't making any predictions, and there's so many things I could have done better. But he goes for the Rapid Spin now, and he gets rid of that Stealth Rock. And I go to Umbreon just in case he wants to Scald, and he does. And unfortunately, no burn hacks. I was waiting for it the entire game, so I heal Bell to heal Zapdos and possibly heal myself if he does burn me. But he doesn't. So now this turn I go for a Wish, I believe. This battle was a long time ago. Yes, I do go for a Wish, and I really want to see what he does. He switches to Gliscor. For some reason that name escaped me for a little bit. So I go for a Payback. I really was just trying to get him to Scald and get the burn. So I was going to stand there and pay back, even though I know it wouldn't have done a whole lot. That was what I was hoping for. So I have to go to Zapdos now to Hidden Power, and I know he's probably going to Earthquake for the stab. So not only can I evade the Earthquake. I can throw off a hidden power. Um, I did reveal it already, but I don't know if he would make the connection that it is hidden power ice. Hopefully he is just thinking that I switched to avoid the Earthquake. And so he goes back and he sends in Blastoise because he really wants to Mirror Coat me, and I hidden power. Like, I guess I was thinking like I could outspeed. Like, I'm kind of surprised because I have a lot of EVs and speed in the Zapdos. I think nearly 200, if not over 200. But that just tells me that it is a very offensive Glissorb. So I don't want to Thunderbolt and get Mirror Coated. And again, I definitely could have just subbed and then Thunderbolted, but I really don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just really wanted to get it burnt. So he withdraws and goes to Gliscor because he realizes that's going to be threatening me out. So I wish, and I switch out now and go to Torkoal, just in case he wants to Earthquake or what. And he Ice Fangs, predicting my switch to Zapdos, which is the advantage of having a few defensive walls on your team. But then he gets the Freeze Hacks, and I'm like, really? I can't believe he just got Freeze Hacks. That was his first time using the move. So I go to Metagross, and he goes for a Swords Dance, which I don't know. I think I have like 200 EVs and HP on this guy. So he goes for another Swords Dance. He's getting some greedy up in there. And I go for an Agility. And so now I'm just going to go for an Ice Punch and hope I can one-hit KO. I know this thing's really defensive, but I'm max attack on this Metagross. So he lives in the red, and it's my turn for the Freeze Hacks. I was like, yes. That was really fantastic. I was like, I kind of felt bad. I don't really use Metagross a whole lot for the rest of the battle, so it wouldn't matter that much. I could have just revenged with Jolteon. So I go for Meteor Mash, and he goes, what was I thinking switching to Shaman? You just revealed that you have Ice Punch. But, you know, now I'm going to go for the Ice Punch, and so that lets his Blastoise come in without any damage. So in a way, it was still kind of a good play because his Shaman does live throughout the rest of the match. So, it was definitely a good way to get Blastoise in there and threaten me out. So now I don't think I'm going to be able to one-hit KO with Meteor Mash. And, well, he resists Meteor Mash, so I'd be looking at Earthquake, and he can just counter that. But instead he just goes for a Scald, which I know I definitely could have lived a Scald, so I should have Earthquake there. But there's no way I could have predicted that. I mean, he's been going for the counter Mirror Coat all game. Like, he just really wants to pull it off, like I can tell. So I have to be careful with that with Blastoise the whole time. And now he just goes straight out to Shaman as I Heal Bell, because I really want my Torkoal alive. Well, not frozen. That way I can use him because he does help out a lot. So he sends in Shaman. And I think I just go straight up for a Wish. He goes for Aromatherapy, which is really unique. I actually didn't even know Shaman could get Aromatherapy. And I really liked Shaman as a subseeder. Like, it was one of the first sets I've ever made. And I don't know, it just did really well. But Aromatherapy is overlooked, and I'm really big on Aromatherapy and Heal Bell. So I might consider making an Aromatherapy Shaman sometime, just to mix it up. Umbreon is really good, but he does kind of get old after a while. So he goes for Giga Drain as I Wish Pass to Weavile, and it doesn't do nearly as much as I thought it would. Well, it's like resisted, but I figured he'd do something like Seed Flare and just do massive damage to me. I was actually wondering if I'd be able to live a hit, but I lived fairly well, got the Wish back. So I'm going to go straight for the Ice Shard, again, not trying to overpredict. Well, not overpredict. I'm not, just not predicting at all. Like, I'm not sure what level he's going to be making his predictions on, as he probably wouldn't want to overpredict. So I know I can't. I'm banded, so I can't do anything to this Garth Ice Shard, so I have to switch out. He made a nice prediction with the Pursuit there. Now I'm seeing that he wants to switch his... edit that out. I know he wants to switch in his Escavalier with in on Weavile, so next time I'll be sure to low kick. And now I'm going to just straight up Thunderbolt, I do believe, because I know it'll do more damage to him than Hidden Power will, and I know that I know he can't do anything to me because this is a physical wall, and Thunderbolt could hurt him pretty bad. And I know he's been switching in Blastoise, so if he switches in Blastoise, that'll still do good. And now I'm predicting that he's going to switch to Jolteon, so I go straight to Umbreon. I probably could have just Hidden Powered there, but you know, I just kind of want to let him know early on, like, your Jolteon can't do anything, because I want my Jolteon to be able to come in and do work. So I wish, and he switches out. I thought he attacked again there. He switches out to Ferrothorn, and I switch out to my Metagross, and I do believe I just straight up go for an Earthquake. Normal effective, and it doesn't do anything, so I was really just trying to see how defensive this thing was, and I think that did a little bit less than actually it normally does. We're looking at like a 4-hit KO there, possibly, maybe 5, if you include lefties. I really don't know. So I go to Jolteon, predicting like Spikes or Stealth Rock or Leech Seed, and he does not attack, so that's good. And I go straight for the Hidden Power Fire, because I do pack Hidden Power Fire, and he switches to his Jolteon, and so I get a Hidden Power on him, and that's going to be a 3-hit KO, doesn't quite do half. And since this is a Hidden Power Fire, I do lose 1 Speed EV, Speed IV, so he's basically sure to outspeed me. So I just go to Umbreon. I go to Umbreon, and I'm going to start wishing, and he knows, I think he switches to Gliscor here, because he knows that I can't do anything to Gliscor. No, he goes to Ferrothorn. Eventually he does realize he can keep switching in Gliscor, though, on my Umbreon, and keep getting health back. But I just go for a wish, and this time I think I go to Torkoal. Yes, I go to Torkoal. I can yawn because I haven't put anything to sleep yet, and on top of that I can Rapid Spin. I don't want to put up Stealth Rock again because his Blastoise can just come in and Rapid Spin it, and it scared me the whole time, so I can't really, I don't know. It's a low health. I probably could finish it with something, but I don't want to risk like Mirror Coat or anything. So he goes to Gliscor, and I yawn, and he gets some leftovers back, which like right now I'm like, okay, I got some lefties back. I can still one-hit KO you with Jolteon or something. So this turn I think I Rapid Spin because I don't want to be taking Spikes and Stealth Rock. I do switch a lot during this match. He goes straight to Blastoise, and I Rapid Spin. And I'm pretty sure he's going to outspeed me. Torkoal doesn't outspeed a whole lot. And on top of that, I don't know if I can live a Scald, and I don't know if I can kill him with a Lava Plume. Chances are I can't kill it with a Lava Plume. So I just go straight to Jolteon. I know I can take a Scald with it, and I know I can kill it from here with a Thunderbolt. So that's going to force him to switch out because he knows he can't Mirror Coat me. So I just go straight for a Shadow Ball, expecting Gliscor to come in. And he goes straight to his Jolteon, expecting the Thunder move, or the Electric move. So He was expecting that, but he didn't go to Glisor. So he goes to Shaman now to take the Shadow Ball. It doesn't do a whole lot. It does actually a pretty disappointing amount. And I know these things are known to carry Earth power, and even if he's not, I'm pretty sure he can still do pretty good damage with Seed Flare, which I can almost guarantee he has. Almost every Shaman has it. So he goes for his Earth power, and my Umbreon just takes that like a boss. And I believe now is actually when he realizes that he can start switching his Glisor in. So I go for a Wish first, because I just like to keep my team at full health. Oh no, he just goes straight up for a Seed Flare. I think he's just testing my special defense. And he gets a crit, and I was like, whoa, I can't believe Seed Flare did that much. That was insane. But at least now I know I can get off a Wish, and then, if need be, protect and get my health back. So he goes for Giga Drain, and I go for a Wish. And I really, looking at my health, I could still take a Seed Flare, which is his most powerful thing on his Shaman. But I don't feel like risking a crit or special defense drops or something. I don't know. So I just went for a Protect that turn. And he switches out. So that he got a free switch in. And he gets really good at getting his free switch ins with Glisor the whole game. So now I'm forced to switch out because I know I can't do anything to Glisor, and Glisor can hurt me pretty bad with his U-turn. So I just go to Zapdos, expecting his U-turn, and he goes for Swords Dance this turn. And I wasn't really sure what to think of that. I mean, maybe he's going to go for an Ice Fang, expecting it to one-hit KO after a Swords Dance. But he decides not to risk it, and he switches out, which was definitely the better play on his half, because I know I could definitely take a +2 Ice Fang. So he goes to Blastoise as I hidden power again, just in case he did want to stay in. Like I said, not a whole lot of prediction going on with me. And so now I just go for a Thunderbolt, because I'm like, from here, I know I can definitely finish this thing off. Or no, I actually do switch out, because I'm predicting now that Jolteon will come in. So I go out to Umbreon, and he does bring in Jolteon. So I know I can finish it with a Payback. I believe I do go for a Payback. I'm not sure. I think I might go for a Wish. So he's got his Thunder Gem, his Stab, Thunder. We're looking at massive damage there, and it doesn't even do half, because that is how boss Umbreon is. So I get off a Wish, and I think this time I do Payback. And he goes out to his Glisor. I didn't Payback. As I go out to my Jolteon, I think predicting that he would go out to his Glisor. So it's always a mind game with me. I always forget fire is normal effective on ground. I always feel like it should be not very effective. So instead I go for a Shadow Ball, even though I probably could have killed it there, and I forgot that he likes to send in Shaman on that Shadow Ball. So I didn't get a whole lot accomplished there. Now I'm forced to go back to Umbreon. And by now, actually it's at this point that I'm thinking, well, he's been predicting my Umbreon. I think he might just switch back out to Glisor to threaten me out right away again. But he does not. So I kind of was relieved at that. So now I think I just go for a Wish again. And he withdraws and goes straight to Glisor. So I get in my Wish, and Leftovers does put me back into the green. So I don't have a whole lot of need to protect and get the health for myself. I know nothing on his team especially can kill me from there. So I switch out to Weavile. Predicting a Swords Dance. I don't know why I was predicting a Swords Dance. But he goes straight up for an Earthquake, predicting I'd go to Jolteon, I guess, because last time I did switch in Jolteon when he brought in his Gliscor. So this time I'm like, Weavile's finally back in. Yes, I'm gonna get off a low kick because I know he's gonna bring in a Escavalier, and he sends in Blastoise instead. And I'm like, well, he's still pretty heavy. That still should do some good damage, and it doesn't even kill it from there. So I was a bit disappointed at that. But I'm like, hey, at least I can finish it off. Don't have to worry about counter. And he does bring in a Escavalier. I was like, yes, that's what I wanted to come in from the beginning. So this is beautiful. And so I low kick it, and when I looked at it, I was like, that did about half. I was pretty disappointed that it didn't kill it, but I was like, at least I can finish it off with another one. But he just barely lives and gets off that reversal, which is 4 times super effective, and there's no way Weavile could live that, and he even gets a crit, so Weavile is definitely gone there. But he hurts himself with Life Orb. That's right. So he's definitely not choice banded. So I go to Jolteon as he's my only really offensive Pokemon on this team, and he goes straight out to Gliscor. And this time I go for Hidden Power Fire because I'm like, you know what, Shaman's coming this time. I'm not gonna fall for it again. So I go for the Hidden Power, and it does enough to 2-hit KO, I believe. Yep. So he doesn't want to sack Shaman because Shaman has been doing pretty good work for his team. So he switches out, thinking probably, most likely, that it's Hidden Power Ice because that's what most people do. But I am not most people, and so he goes to Ferrothorn, and I was like, that is just amazing. So I don't one-hit KO Ferrothorn, but he does decide that Ferrothorn isn't going to do a whole lot with Torkoal still around, and Torkoal is probably most likely going to be living throughout to the end of the game, so his Ferrothorn is pretty much useless. So he sacks that, and in comes Blastoise, and I'm like, I can finish this off with a Hidden Power Fire even though it's resisted. And he switches out to his own Jolteon, not realizing I'm Specs, trying to make me heal his Jolteon, but I am Specs, so I didn't fall for that anyway. So I go to he goes to Blastoise, and I Hidden Power, and so now that's out of the way. And he goes to Shaman for some reason, and I Hidden Power that, and that's out of the way. So then all he has left now is Gliscor, and again, I'm thinking Fire is not very effective on ground, and this guy it's not only is it not a bulky Gliscor isn't especially defensive. So I really think I probably could have finished it off from there. Maybe. I think I could have. But instead I go to Zapdos to both take the Earthquake and to Hidden Power Ice. He can't switch out now. Ice Fang's not going to do a whole lot to me. So he goes for the Ice Fang, and he gets Freeze Hacks again. So now I don't have a whole lot I can do. I know Torkoal's at good health, and Torkoal can take, I think he's going to be 3-hit KO'd by an Earthquake. So I just go straight to Torkoal to yawn him and put him to sleep. I'm going to have to sack him. So his Earthquake does little less than half. So it is going to be a 3-hit KO. So I'm just going to go straight for the yawn. And he goes for another Earthquake, which was to be expected. And so I'm going to yawn him. And I probably should have sacked Torkoal at this point in time. But because then I could have just came in and revenged with Jolteon. But I switch out to Zapdos to take the Earthquake, even though he's frozen. So now he's asleep, and I'm thinking I could go to Jolteon, Heal Bell, switch back, Hidden Power. That was what my plan was, and that would be 4 turns. opposed to switching to Jolteon, using Shadow Ball, which would also finish him off and would only be 3 turns. So I decided that is the better option. So I'm going to Shadow Ball first, and it does about what's expected, little over half, but he wakes up and goes for the Earthquake, and that was just ridiculous. You know, freeze hacks twice. I know I got him once too, but then he never got the burn hacks, like the one hacks I did want him to get. Then he woke up in 1 turn. So I go to Umbreon as, like, I kind of forgot I still had Metagross, which could probably live in Earthquake and then Ice Punch him. But I'm thinking this is my only hope, so I go to Umbreon and Heal Bell, and I don't remember if I fodder him out now or if I just switch. I just switch. So I go to Zapdos, and he goes for another Swords Dance, getting greedy, and he's like pretty sure he can kill in 1 hit with Ice Fang. I'm like, no, there's no way you can kill me in 1 hit, even now. This thing is so defensively bulky. This is game over unless you can, 1, get a crit, or 2, get freeze hacks. So he goes for the Ice Fang, Moment of Truth, and I live with 59 HP. And that did a bit more than I thought, but he is at +4, and it is super effective, so whatever. I hit in power, and that was the game. Good game, Colonel, and you guys should go check out his channel. See you later. Bye.